Welcome back to the Continuous Improvement Lab. This is Season 3, Episode 31, and this season we are diving headfirst into Management Operations Systems, or MOS, to give you the real-world tools you need to boost your team's performance. And before we jump in, I have to give a huge shout-out to our listeners tuning in from over 40 countries. That is just awesome. Now here's a little secret. Less than 25% of you are actually subscribed. So if you're getting value out of this, could you do us a massive favor? Just hit that subscribe or follow button. It honestly helps us out a ton with the algorithm so we can keep bringing you these insights. And don't forget, this whole series complements our business playbooks, Shift Happens, and the brand new Culture by Design, Power by Discipline. You can find them on Amazon and other online bookstores pretty much everywhere. All right, let's get to it.
So let's start with a question that I think is going to hit home for a lot of you. Are your teams drowning in data but absolutely starving for insight? You know the feeling, right? You've got spreadsheets, reports, dashboards, data everywhere. But when it's crunch time, can you actually make a fast, effective decision? Or is it all just noise?
Okay, let's tackle this head-on. Section 1, Drowning in Data. And that subtitle, The High Cost of Complexity, really says it all. To bring this to life, we're going to look at a case study from a company called Delta Tech Fabrication. They were the perfect example of something I call spreadsheet paralysis, that feeling of being so buried in data that you can't even move.
For the team at Delta Tech, their actual performance was basically hidden. It was buried deep inside these super complex reports. It was like trying to find a needle in a digital haystack. And you can guess what happened, right? By the time a manager or an operator finally figured out there was a problem, it was way too late to fix it efficiently. So they were just constantly putting out fires, always reacting, and always a step behind.
So that's the problem. But what's the solution? Well, it's something that just cuts right through all of that complexity. It's about harnessing the power of simple signals. Let's talk about instant visual management.
So, what is this stuff? At its core, the idea is so simple. Stop making people read about performance and start letting them see it. The entire goal is to make the status of your operation so clear, so obvious that anyone, and I mean anyone, from the newest person on the line to the CEO, can understand what's happening in a single glance. No spreadsheets, no reports, just instant understanding.
And this is the language of action. It's a universal language we all get, just like a traffic light. Green means go, we're on target. Yellow means, hey, slow down, we're at risk here, pay attention. And red? Red means stop, we have a problem, and we need to fix it right now. There's no gray area, no confusion, just immediate, crystal clarity.
So how did this all actually play out at Delta Tech? That's the real question. Let's jump back into our case study and see the incredible turnaround they had. It's a fantastic case study in clarity.
The change was literally like night and day. They went from slow, reactive decisions to fast, proactive actions. They replaced all those complicated reports with simple, color-coded visual boards right there on the shop floor. And that one simple change shifted the entire team's mindset. They went from being firefighters to being proactive problem solvers. The whole conversation changed from what happened yesterday to what are we doing about this right now?
And of course, the numbers tell the story. Within just 2 months, they saw a 13% jump in their overall equipment effectiveness. That's OEE. Now, if you're not familiar, OEE is basically the gold standard for measuring manufacturing productivity. A 13% improvement is absolutely massive.
On top of that, they cut their unplanned equipment downtime by 16%. And why is that? It's because the teams could finally see when a machine was trending into the yellow or red zone. They could step in and fix the problem before it led to a complete shutdown. Think about the hours and the money they saved.
But you know, for me, this is the most important part. The impact wasn't just on the numbers, it was on the people. Look at this quote. The teams felt more confident, more engaged. This system empowered them. It gave them a sense of ownership and the confidence to take action. It didn't just change their process, it changed their culture.
And please, don't make the mistake of thinking this is just a manufacturing thing. It's not. These same principles are being used to get incredible results across all kinds of different industries.
Take logistics and supply chains, for example, where every single second counts. Using these visual cues can slash the response time to problems by up to 25%. Why? Because you're giving the frontline teams the power to make critical decisions on the spot.
And you can see it right here. The results are impressive everywhere you look. Engineering teams are seeing 14% fewer bottlenecks. Warehouses are cutting fulfillment errors by 12%. Even marketing teams are making campaign adjustments 16% faster.
The principle is universal. When you can see the problem, you can solve the problem faster.
So what's the big takeaway here for any leaders listening? What's the thing that takes you from just seeing this stuff to actually doing it? Because it's not about the board, it's about the philosophy behind it.
Here it is. Your goal is to create instant understanding to drive instant action. That's it. Your job as a leader is to be a relentless simplifier. You have to remove all the friction between your team seeing the data and taking action. When you create that environment, you empower your team to own their performance and solve problems the moment they appear.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. For your team, in your world, what is the one metric, the single most important thing that if everyone could see it instantly would totally change your performance tomorrow? Whatever just popped into your head, that's your starting point. For any additional information, please feel free to reach out to us through our website at www.karasininnovations.com. And if you enjoyed this, you should absolutely check out our other podcast, The Systems Thinker Show, where we do more deep dives just like this one. And finally, a special thanks to our executive producer and founder, Lanier Johnson. Thanks so much for tuning in.